What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cornelia back with another episode of Black News, a podcast where we break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. Now let's get into it. What a night, y'all. What a night, child. It was full of ups and downs. Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome back. What a night. Welcome back. I am back. We are back. We are gathered here today to discuss what I will consider the finale of this award season, especially as it pertains to film. Television, Emmys coming in the summertime, but I guess this wraps up everything. Baby, it's been a hell of a ride. And y'all know, as unofficial Center Street team, I've been locked in since April. We have come to the conclusion. I don't know what I'm going to do moving forward. I'm going to go through withdrawals because the movie that I have been rooting for, and that a lot of us have been rooting for as well, finally had its finale in relation to the award season in the awards run. Y'all, it was a hell of a night. Woo! Okay, so as we know, the Academy Awards took place. I gave my predictions, and I specifically said who I think will win. No, let me backtrack. I said who I want to win, who deserves to win, and who I think they'll pick to win. I did pretty okay. I did about half and half. For some of the craft categories, I think I nailed it straight on. I didn't pull back up and listen because I didn't write it down. But I know for like costuming, wardrobe, sound, VFX, I think I nailed it. I was pretty accurate, and I just did the big categories. But we're gonna recap, and I'm not gonna recap everything, but let me talk about the night, child, because when I tell you roller coaster, it felt like Six Flags up in this beach. Okay, it felt like Cedar Point, the Magnum XL 2000. Okay, that's what it felt like. So Sinners overall took home 4 Academy Awards. This was out of 16 nominations. Remember, there was a record-breaking 16 nominations. Basically, any category that it was eligible for, it was nominated in. First time that has happened, thoroughly deserved. Okay, so I already came into it thinking, I said, remember, they got to be locked in for 3. If they don't get 3, and at the time I said, we're going to get into this, best original screenplay, best casting, and best score. If they don't get those 3, something is afoot. Okay? Some foot if those don't get it, because they have cleaned up and basically swept all of those particular categories throughout the entire season. So we went into this thinking this got to be a lock. And if it ain't, they playing games. I was also hopeful about Best Supporting, which they got to first. Wunmi did not win Best Supporting Actress. Tiana Taylor did not win as she didn't win either. It went to Amy Madigan, which I said she was on my list of who I think they'll pick. Okay. And again, she swept most of them. So that wasn't a shock, but I was rooting for my girl Wunmi. Then it went into, and I might be going out of order, but I'm trying to make it flow based on what happened. I went to one of my friends' house and we gathered, Oscars watch party. We did this before last year. It's probably going to be an annual thing. We ordered some food, kicked it, laughed, talked, and we were sitting down. So as soon as it came on and that first award didn't win, we were disappointed, but we still assumed it was going to be a good night because that would have been icing on the cake. We kind of knew that Amy was going to take it. That beautiful performance featuring almost, I won't say everybody, but a lot of the people who contributed to the actual Sinners score and soundtrack. They recreated the juke joint scene where Sammy sings I Lied to You. You had Raphael Sadiq, Kingfish, Eric Gales, Miles Caton, of course. They even had Jamie Lawson and Lily Grace and Pearline, honey. Okay, Pearline then was prancing all around the stage. Brittany Howard, Buddy Guy, Bobby Rush. There was D Nice was featured. He was the DJ in there, and I'm missing some others. Misty Copeland came out of retirement wearing I believe she said it was the Firebird costume, known to be worn by Alvin Ailey dancers. She just had double hip replacement surgery, baby. She came up off the bench. She ain't had to be there. She's done. But it made the moment also special because, again, that scene represents, yes, in the movie, it was designed to show the power of Sammy's voice and his gift, which is what Remick the vampire wanted. Remick then was even down there. Y'all see him down on the floor trying to get on stage and they told him no. Hilarious. But it was an on stage, in person experience and visual display of what the blues has become. The blues is rock and roll. The blues is R&B, country, gospel. Any American genre is rooted in the blues. And it was just really nice to see, like, two of the oldest people on that stage, Buddy Guy and Bobby Rush, get to enjoy it. Buddy Guy walked the red carpet. He was doing interviews. You could tell he was really emotional because he was saying he's at this age and you never are too old to experience new things and things that you didn't even imagine would happen for you. So for him, those two to be up there, coming from the Jim Crow South, being born in a time and a place where we had no rights, nothing, to fast forward to 2026 and your legacy is a part of the biggest movie of the year, and to be included by the people behind the scenes in the movie, and to come on a huge stage and to perform and share your gifts. That's just, I mean, at some point, what more can you ask for? That's what it's all about. And I just want y'all to go, when next time y'all go back, baby, Bobby Rush was tearing that harmonica up. Okay, go back. They were like, everybody was singing Brittany Howard. I forget the woman's name who also was singer on Last Time I Seen the Sun. Everybody was riffing and doing their thing, playing guitars, and everybody was doing their thing. You heard Bobby, baby, he was going crazy on that harmonica. I said, you better do it, Bobby Rush. But it was wonderful. So we were on a high from this beautiful performance. Then a little ways into it, we get to best casting. And as I told y'all, I felt like this was a lockdown, especially having won best ensemble, best cast at Critics' Choice. They won that new little box office award at Golden Globes. And Francine Maisler has won a lot of the other specific casting guild awards throughout the season. So it only made sense for there to be an expectation that, yeah, they're gonna win best casting. Child, when they called one bad after another, what? I feel like everybody in that room was shocked because not only did the energy change at the watch party that I was at, you can tell the energy shifted in that room. It was a little more excited and a little more fun and bubbly. After that, people were like, oh, great. It's going to be a long night. I even posted on social media, it's going to be a long night, baby. Something afoot, because best casting was a lot, which then calls into question, again, I talked about this when I was getting ready to vote for SAG Awards, the Actor Awards. You never know how people going to vote. And you have to keep in mind who is a part of each group and each voting body. These are people within the entertainment industry across specialties: producers, directors, writers, actors, press, you name it. So with that comes a different level of expectation. they have a different intention, different biases, and seemed like a different goal. At one point, I was like, did they pay? Was there a pay promo on the back end? What's going on? So it was safe to say that I was pissed. Child, I was pissed after that. And I wasn't alone, Michael Jackson. You are not alone, Michael Jackson. Okay. But then you know what I said, and everybody in the room, all right, you know what, we gonna think positive. Okay. We gonna think positive. Best cinematography came up, and it was on my list. I said I wanted to win and deserved to win Autumn, but also if Train Dreams would have won, I would have been just as satisfied. And to me, that's where the competition was. If it would have went to anybody else, then you know the intention behind people's choices. Child, sinners don't want. We back in it, baby. We back in it. And I don't mean to talk about it like it's a game, but we are rooting for these people to win. Autumn Archipel Dural is the first woman of color to win in that category. She's the first woman, period, to win in that category. And she goes down in history, 98 years, by the way, of taking that crown. With that, Ludwig then also, Ludwig Göransson won for best score, which we knew. That was another one. If they was playing with best score, then it's just throw the whole night away. Great win. Then we were on a roll. The other ones were predictable. Like we said, the craft, we know Frankenstein gonna win costuming and makeup. I saw people online being upset that Sinners didn't win those. As someone who watched the movies, I knew costuming was and makeup was gonna go to Frankenstein. That lady outdid herself with them Frankenstein costumes. That Frankenstein makeup was great. No notes. But then our boy Ryan Coogler won best original screenplay. Another of the three that I said should be a lock based on what has happened previously. And this is such a wonderful moment. Ryan went up there, and I'll play his acceptance speech at the end of this segment. But I know Ryan Coogler isn't focused on awards. I also, and we know Ryan Coogler from Oakland. His mentors are Spike Nim. They know how it is. They know what's up. I willing to bet he is not going into any of this with the rose colored glasses on. He know how the game go. But I'm so happy that he was able to receive that standing ovation. He was able to receive that love and be awarded for his incredible gifts and talent and for a story that is rooted in his own personal experiences with his late grandfather, James. Because had he not had that relationship and had they not shared that time, we would never have gotten here with him delivering and giving us this fantastic piece of art. So again, that's just the beauty of, and that's why people come out here. Not to say everybody come out here because they got an experience with their grand uncle and they want to write about it, but that is the true testament of creativity. Being able to pull from real life experiences and let it drive and move you to create something fantastic. So beautiful win for Ryan Coogler. He did not, with that said, win Best Director and Best Picture, which, listen, they was on my list of deserving who I want. We knew who was going to be picked. I have lots of critiques, okay, about said film. And I'm not going to go into them again because people tired of me. Y'all, I was cutting up at the watch party. Baby, they was sick of me by the end the way I was cutting up. But when people, there's certain movies and certain moments in time where people gonna remember them regardless. They the people's champs. Regardless of what happened on that night, certain films, they just gonna stand the test of time. And it'll be those conversations people go back and say, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I point to Do the Right Thing. Everybody knows at this point, Do the Right Thing was the pick. People know Malcolm X was special and Denzel should have gotten his just due for Malcolm X. There's others that I could name. Sinners is going to go down in history as one of those things. We're going to be talking about this movie for years to come. And I just don't think that's the case for the other movie unless it is in conversation with or around Sinners. But the big moment of the night, and let me back up before I even get into that. I want to point out no black director has won in that category in the 98 years of the Academy Awards. No black person has won Best Director in 98 years. How embarrassing. I mean, talk about embarrassing. You telling me in 98 years, no black filmmaker has made a fantastic movie? I just named one. Malcolm X. So you got Spike Lee, John Singleton, Ava DuVernay, Barry Jenkins. I'm blank. Gina Prince Bythewood, Ryan Coogler. Nobody. Nia DaCosta. Like nobody. Just embarrassing. But the moment of the night, which turned it all around and gave me to the and made me shift my perspective because at one point I was pissed. But with this one, you know what? We good. Michael B. Jordan won the Academy Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role. You talking about screaming. Go to my social media, y'all. Go to my threads and see our reaction. I was screaming. You would have thought Michael B. Jordan was my cousin. And I just got off the phone with him that morning, wishing him good luck and being like, all right, bro. So good luck. I'm going to be watching. You got this, win or lose. You did your thing. You would have thought that was the conversation I had with Michael B. Jordan that morning. Child, I don't know him. I don't know no Michael B. Jordan. Okay. It's 1 degree of separation. Now I know people who know Michael B. Jordan, but I don't know Michael B. Jordan. But when he won that Academy Award for Best Actor, we lost our minds. I am so happy for Ryan, Autumn, Ludwig, but also for Michael B. Jordan. And there's many reasons why. And I'm going to say this again. This is one of my big reasons. And I know, again, y'all know I be repeating shit. Okay. I'm so sorry. But I need this. I repeat stuff like this particular because I want people to realize what it's like. Going to Hollywood and pursuing your dreams is so romanticized. It is hard, y'all, to still be in the entertainment business after 25 years as a black person. That is a feat that only, but maybe 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna be generous. 5% of actors can say that they accomplished. And I'm saying that they accomplished successfully. That includes financial gain as well. Because there's a lot of actors in Hollywood that have been in the business for long and longer, but they don't even make enough to qualify for the health insurance, the union covered health insurance, which is between $23,000 and $25,000 a year. They didn't make that much in acting. It may sound a lot if you're thinking about lump sum, but if you only an actor, you can't live off $23,000 a year in Los Angeles. No, you can't do it. So for Michael B. Jordan to start as a child actor, to book TV shows here and there and been on some really legendary shows, made a name for himself, but still, kind of struggling to find his way. He always been giving interviews about how every time he was at that point where he was like, I need to get a job or I need to go back home, he would book something and it would keep him out here in LA just for a little while longer. That is a true testament to how it is, y'all. It is so hard being in this business. Even if you look at the landscape of TV today, y'all, if so many actors, black people who've been in fantastic movies and TV shows, you ain't seen them on screen in a year, 2, 3, 4 years. Baby, they not making no money. They're not making any money. They can't get a regular job because you know who they are. And they're gonna be talking crazy about them like they did. What's his name from the Cosby Show? They saw him working at Trader Joe's. So so many people are struggling. So for him to stay in it this long and to keep going and to keep chucking along and to connect with somebody who is a visionary like Ryan Coogler, who believed that he could be a leading man, and for them to go on this journey and him to diversify his options, opportunities, and to become a producer, do all this other stuff, maybe that's impossible. That's one of the reasons why I am extremely happy for Michael B. Jordan. On top of that, these are the people, the black men who have won Best Actor in a leading role since for 98 years. Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Forrest Whitaker, Jamie Foxx, Will Smith, Michael B. Jordan. That's 6 people in 98 years. That is crazy. So, and if I left anybody off, forgive me because I'm going off memory. So I am extremely proud and happy and child. Like you would have thought that was my first cousin, honey. Um, Overall, I'm satisfied. Do I think Sinners deserve Best Picture and Best Director? Absolutely. If you got the best cinematography, right? It's the best way it's shot. If you got the best screenplay, that's the script. You got the best script, the best way it was shot. You got the best music that's driving the story, and you had the best actor. I'm not sure how. Then that ain't the best film. You understand? Or the best director, who was the person to help with the vision of said movie. But hey, it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts. I'm also very sad for Delroy Lindo. I thought he had it in the bag because them his people, but baby, after they went best casting, I was like, oh, this ain't going. I know what this is. He deserves it, and I hope he's in a position again in the future where he is up for another opportunity. I also told my friends, I said, after this point, Ryan Coogler he's the Academy Award whisperer for black actors. He gonna be the person that black people call if they want to be in a role that could be life changing for them, even in front of the camera and behind the camera. Ryan Coogler is, his projects have presented us with the first black woman production designer Academy Award winner, the first black woman costume designer Academy Award winner, the first black or person of color cinematographer Academy Award winner, a 2-time, and I'm only saying 2-time for Ludwig best score because 2 of them were with Ryan Coogler. One was with Christopher Nolan. And then only the sixth person to win best actor. He also secured a nomination for Wumi Masako, for Delroy Lindo, and for Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. He also was the only Marvel film to get a nomination for Black Panther. Now, I'm not saying that's the end all be all and Academy Award nominations are it, because we cleaned up at the NAACP Awards and across all film awards this season. But in a business where accolades matter, that is important. And who are we to say that we don't deserve what you consider the top of the mountain? We can have that too. So let me know your thoughts about it. I don't think after this year there ain't gonna be no more black winners for 10 years, baby. It's gonna be 2036 before we back in the building. But hey, we did this was a pretty good year. Let me know your thoughts about it though. What did your predictions match up, line up? Were you shocked about anything? Let me know. You can find me at Cornelia on social media.
What's up? Hey, please. Please, please, y'all, please, hey, please sit down, I'm very nervous and they gonna play me off. Cause I grew up in Oakland, Richmond, California. And we can talk a lot. So I want to thank the Academy for thinking of our movie that came out almost a year ago. This is an incredible honor. I want to thank my fellow nominees. You guys, I want to thank y'all for the gifts that y'all movies were and for y'all friendship over the past years and months. I want to thank everybody that was involved with this movie, starting with Warner Brothers. Mike and Pam, you're here. David, you're here somewhere. Everybody, all my cast and crew, please stand up. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. You guys are. Oh my God. You all are. You all are winners in my book. You all are winners in my book. Sevo Hani and Zenzi Kulu, you guys are the best producers in the world. Zenzi, you're the best wife and mom in the world. Every day I get to spend with you is better than the one that came before it. And to my parents who are here, thank y'all for all the memories. Thank y'all for making me believe in myself. And to my babies that are at home watching, I apologize for all the time away. Dad loves you. Memories are all we have. I hope I'll give you some great ones. And when y'all blessed to live a long life and dad becomes just a memory, I want y'all to remember this one thing. I love y'all more than anything. Thank you.
So I want to quickly highlight or discuss what happened with the Target boycott, and it was drama and a lot happening around that this past week. And child, I don't know what's going on, but I know I ain't going back to Target. So the backstory, and I did not know this. The Target boycott was started by a group of women in Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken. However, I was introduced to the Target boycott, which I now heard it was this branch of the boycott was a fast by Pastor Jamal Bryant, Tamika Mallory, and others. This all happened or at the top of last year around the time where the DEI was on the chopping block. Target didn't take the stand after years of positioning themselves as, baby, they gonna have all the black stuff in there. Okay. Target didn't take a stand. We were gathered as a community and decided we gonna pull back from Target. As we all know, they done took a hit, decline in revenue. The CEO got pushed out. He now on the board. They got somebody else in, but nothing has really changed. I don't know if they fulfilled their commitment. I don't know about none of that. I just know there was not a like a large showing of remorse. With that, the pattern or the habit of shopping there has been broken, baby. People ain't going back. But out of nowhere, this past week, Pastor Jamal Bryant was like, I got to make an announcement. Had it all over social media and announced that the boycott is over. They have met all of the demands and we done with it and we can move forward. Okay. It's over. Now at that moment, people are like, what? They met the demands. Where the money at? Like, what demand? They what? What? Who? What? People even was accusing him of taking payments. I ain't the one that said that because I don't necessarily believe that's the case. Because I think if some actual money had been exchanged, somebody would have leaked it by now. I think we would have had it like real proof, especially with these big mouths we got running around. But it was immediate backlash. Then simultaneously, the people who actually started the boycott came out and was like, how are we gonna stop the boycott, baby? We started it. What are you talking about? And that's when a lot of people realized, oh shoot, he actually didn't start the boycott. He started the fast. It got so bad that Pastor Jamal Bryant had to give issue an apology. And I'm gonna play some of it. It's 22 minutes. I'm not playing 22 minutes. I'm gonna play the beginning part of his YouTube video where he addressed this. But even with addressing it without, we got too much technology and we are too disjointed. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. We just don't have singular means of communication and we don't have a singular leader. I honestly don't think we, the black community, need a singular leader. I think we need multiple voices, but those voices need to be on the same page. So it is unfortunate, and it's highlighted all of this where you have one person saying this is something that's going on, another person saying no, that ain't the case, and everybody feeling like don't nobody know what's going on. Okay. So maybe this is a lesson for the next time we mobilize or do something. Before stuff is communicated, make sure everybody check in with who they need to check in so somebody ain't gonna be embarrassed. Cause it seemed like poor pastor, he wasn't feeling too great after he got called out. Okay. So let me play his apology and give my final thoughts and then we can move on because then we ain't going back. Okay? Okay, let me play this.
Today was supposed to be a hallmark celebration. But given the most recent events that have taken place this week, we're having to make a hard pivot. I wanted to address you directly about what has transpired around the Target fast and the Target boycott. I have extended my life in serving our people, serving our community, and serving my congregation. The very last thing I ever want to do is be a proponent of division or divisiveness. I want us to be together as one. This week, I failed at doing that. When it is that I called for the end of the Target fast, most in our community and culture were disappointed, angry, frustrated, and bewildered. What did it mean? Have you sold out? Have you given up? You wave the white flag. And emphatically, the answer is no. I wanted to walk you through what has taken place over the last year that has gotten to the place of where we are right now. Do you ever realize how crazy it is that creators
Child,
don't
listen to
actually
that.
own
You
their
see, you
audience?
can't do nothing with
One
YouTube,
algorithm sweep
child.
and boom.
Dang ads.
A year ago, um, Target boycott started in two different places, one in Cleveland, the other in Minneapolis, Minnesota, distinctively by two significantly strong sisters, Attorney Nakima and Representative Nina Turner.
Sorry, y'all. I said Milwaukee or Wisconsin, Minnesota.
I watched it play out in real time, and it dawned on me that the Black church was not a part of the equation or the conversation dealing with civic engagement. And I pulled from their genius and their prowess the Target fast to walk alongside them. It was intended to pull together Black churches, Black congregations, and Black denominations to get back in the conversation. We're part of a generation that doesn't see the relevance of the Black church or has not been able to bear witness of our prophetic mantle. As a consequence, there's the largest demographic of Black people who don't go to church, 28%, the largest amount of Black people who self identify as atheist, 8%. And so I wanted to drive the church to be in the center. The Target fast that began the first week of March of 2025 was just to go 40 days from Ash Wednesday to Easter. And in so doing, we understood out of the footprint and the blueprint of the civil rights movement that power concedes nothing without a demand. So says Frederick Douglass.
Okay, I'm not gonna keep playing the rest because it's long. I feel like at no point were we told it was gonna be for 40 days. This is my first time this week hearing 40 days referenced. Did y'all hear anything about 40 days? Like, was it just me? I hadn't heard nothing about no 40 days. So when I personally decided that I was going to move away from that establishment, maybe it was for good. Hey, I'm done. Like 40 days. And I say that as someone who assumed they're not going to change anything. Nothing's going to happen in 40 days. So us stopping 40 days, but what's going to, maybe they ain't going to do nothing. Don't nobody care. They do not care. So my takeaway is I respect them from owning up to it, for owning up to it. and trying to right the wrong. And it sounds like people are like, okay, thank you. We still not going up in there. People are also, like I said, saying that he got money. I don't know if he got money, but I do have a conspiracy theory. I'm wondering if he volunteered himself as tribute ahead of this summer run where Target is historically a major sponsor for some black events. And I'm not going to name none. I'm not going to name them. But without these major sponsorships, some of these events will not be able to put on activations in the event planning the way they would without it. So I'm wondering if he tried to fall on the sword for that. Who knows? Either way, it's up in the stuck at this point. Okay. What do y'all think? Because I ain't gonna keep talking about that. I'm done. What do y'all think? Are you gonna go back? Did you never stop, child? I got some friends I done found out they be up in there. They be up in that thing. I had to call them out. You better get up out of there. You better get up out of there. Let me know though. You can find me at Cornelia on social media. On this week's episode of Black News, we talked about the Academy Awards results, what happened with our prediction, and who were some of the biggest winners of the night. Also briefly talked about the Target boycott, the end result, and all the drama that happened around it this past week. Hit me up. Let me know your thoughts about all of these topics, some or none, and I'll check back with you guys next time. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thanks again for supporting the podcast by sharing, liking, subscribing, and rating 5 stars on your favorite podcast app. To find more information about me, you can check me out at Cornelia on social media, as well as on my website, which is cornelia.com. And as always, thanks for supporting, and I'll be back next week with new topics and a new episode.